checking in with meteorologist Jennifer Lambers for a look at today's weather forecast. And the rain in the forecast is, well, it's all over the radar in some areas this morning.
That's exactly right. We're starting off soggy for this morning. I noticed when I stepped outside from my car earlier, it was covered in water. And so you might be finding the same out there to start off so far. But don't forget the rain gear. Yeah, you're going to find yourselves needing it, especially right now. What we're starting to see is the majority of that taking place just offshore. Some light isolated showers making their way closer towards the Florida Panhandle or inland counties, but only expecting more of this to begin ramping up heading later on into today. We still have that stationary front located just offshore, expecting it to possibly push north just a little bit heading into today, influencing our forecast and leading to some of those increased rain chances for the remainder of late morning and heading into this afternoon. Now there's those very light isolated showers that I mentioned just closer towards Century, J, McDavid, extending down closer towards the Milton area and still in Pensacola Beach and Gulf Breeze. Really Seminole, Lillian, you're looking a lot better, noticing some of that beginning to dry out along with Cantonment and Molino. But the futurecast, that's not quite what we're seeing right now. Very light isolated rain in this area, but not quite seeing what it's showing closer towards our Mississippi counties and into southern Mobile and Baldwin counties. Now as we make our way later on into today, only expecting more of those showers and storms to begin lifting up. But this is all a scenario if we have an area of high pressure closer towards the Carolinas that's weakening, that allows the stationary front to lift up. There is still a very small chance that that doesn't occur and we stay more on the dry side, but Futurecast still staying consistent with all of that rain coverage beginning to ramp up by late morning heading into early afternoon. Increased cloud cover heading into today, which is really going to be leading us to staying on the cooler side. But here's a look at that rainfall forecast. So starting off for today, we're picking up around an inch of rainfall, 2 inches closer towards the coast. But by tomorrow, those rain chances even higher, and those numbers closer towards our Mississippi counties skyrocketing above 5 inches in some spots, closer towards Pascagoula, wanting to lean towards 8 inches of rainfall. Drive carefully if you find yourselves in any of these showers or storms. But I'm going to be talking more about your forecast and what you can expect heading into the weekend coming up soon. Eric.
Checking in with Jen.
And taking a look at our Jack's Bus Stop forecast kit for today. And we have Amari helping us out. And it's looking nice to start off for this morning, but more of those scattered storms possible heading into this afternoon. But I'll be talking more about your forecast coming up in just a little bit, but keep that rain gear handy. And thank you, Amari, for helping to keep us updated. Here's a live view outside right now from our Admiral camera. We'll be right back after this. Taking another look at your forecast and a live view outside right now down in Orange Beach from our M&T Construction and C Spire camera. And you can notice some of those raindrops reappearing on the camera there. Starting to notice more of those coastal showers beginning to ramp up at this time. Now, just a reminder, right now is a great time to download the Fox 10 weather app. That way you can stay updated with everything that's taking place. We update those forecast videos daily. Plus, also, we have this built-in radar feature. So actively tracking some of those rain showers out there right now, really just impacting our coastal areas closer towards the Florida Panhandle and southern Baldwin County. But also it has a futurecast option built in, so it'll go past that, continuing to show the scenario for this morning, really increasing that rain coverage closer towards central to southern Mobile, Baldwin counties and the Florida Panhandle, especially once we get later on in the day, closer towards lunchtime. We'll be able to when that futurecast takes us till. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at your forecast at this time. And again, Futurecast, it's not really doing the best right now. That is not what our radar is looking like. We're seeing some of that light green closer towards the Florida Panhandle, but Baldwin County, Mobile County, George Greene counties, even Jackson County, we're quiet so far. So really just leaning towards this futurecast. I do think it is exaggerating just a little bit. So starting to take back those rain chances heading into today, showing that that area that's just offshore, that stalled out front that we've been mentioning, not quite moving north so far to begin for today. So really this forecast, it gets a little bit tricky because we're trying to figure out what's going to be taking place with that area of high pressure and also that stationary front that's located just offshore, really influencing our forecast heading into today. And so that leads to some uncertainties with the rain coverage to begin for this morning. So really the biggest takeaway, just keep that rain gear handy. The highest rain chances today remain closer towards central to southern Mobile, Baldwin counties and the Florida Panhandle. The biggest question is going to be if any of that will continue to push further inland, closer towards Washington, Clark, Monroe, Conecuh, and Escambia counties in Alabama. So really just keep that in mind. Keep that rain gear handy. Go ahead and send it with your kids to school in case we still start to see some of those very isolated showers as they're letting out of school. But still, the highest chances will be late morning, closer towards lunchtime. We turn much more isolated heading into this evening, but more of that thick cloud cover sticking around, and those shower chances begin to ramp up heading into the overnight hours. Now, that flood watch, we're not impacted by this. If you are traveling west through coastal Mississippi down into southern Louisiana, that's where you could possibly see more of that heavy rainfall. Still a very isolated chance to see some of that flash flooding here locally, so just make sure that you drive carefully in case you're heading out anytime soon. Forecast highs heading into today, temperatures only maxing out in the upper 70s and the lower 80s. I'm going to be talking more about your forecast coming up in our 6 a.m. hour, but more Good Day Gulf Coast is on the way after this. Here's a live view downtown right now. Things are quiet moving through Bankhead and on the government. We'll be back after this.
And again with Jennifer.
And also continuing to monitor your forecast, taking a look at satellite and radar right now across the Gulf Coast. More of those light rain showers are beginning to push through the Florida Panhandle. Some of those located just closer towards Loxley and just offshore of Gulf Shores and Orange Beach at this time, and Fort Morgan. But I'll be talking more about your forecast and the timing heading into today coming up in our 6 a.m. hour.